Josh and Frankie. What a couple of dumb shits.
Hello, primates! You found Primus Tracks. Congratulations! There are so many places to find Primus Tracks. It's getting out of hand. The best places are at Primus Tracks on Instagram and Threads. PrimusTracksPod@gmail.com is the email address. And there is a Facebook page appropriately named Primus Tracks. I am Josh. He is looking down upon us from the 39th floor of Primus Tracks Towers in Mexico City. But he has a fancy satellite link up, so he sounds great. It's Frankie!
Hey, Josh. Hello, Josh.
And the crowd goes wild. Joining us today, also providing sound effects, which I did not know was one of his many talents. Here to talk about Jackalope today, which is track 9 from your Colonel Claypool's Bucket of Bernie Brains record, The Big Eyeball in the Sky. Returning with that beautiful bass, Lalo Fierro. Welcome back, Lalo.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Buenas tardes, Lalo.
Buenas tardes, George. Buenas tardes, Frankie. Thank you for having me.
Oh, any time. So happy to see you again.
Yeah.
You have been gigging a lot, playing a lot of music. For the video primatrons, they can see your beautiful Beat t-shirt.
Oh, of course.
Yes.
Wow.
So you have been living the musical life. And then today you're here to talk about Jackalope.
Jackalope, yeah.
From the Bernie Brains record. I hope, Lalo, that you were prepared to hear about Frankie's favorite mythical animals. That is happening.
Oh, yeah?
At some point.
Is that true, Frankie?
Yes.
Wow. I didn't know that.
I have my pen. I have my paper. I'm going to make the list, Frankie.
CG the remote.
Unexpected. Thank you for that. That was great. So we are going to talk about Jackalope. But first, there's something afoot. Miscellaneous debris time, Frankie.
We're going way back to Green Naugahyde, Josh, and I wanted to share with you and our listeners this message from Pat Dougherty. He said, as a longtime Primus fan, since I heard Mr. Crinkle on the radio when I was 13 years old, I was one of the primates who took part in the Hoeing for the Man video contest when Green Naugahyde came out. I didn't go on to win, but I did make the top 5, and Primus released their 5 favorites prior to the winner being chosen. Team High Ho Submission went on to win. Right. I'm reaching out because I would love it if you guys could give a shout out to those of us who took part in the video contest. That's the first and only time I can recall Primus doing something quite like that, allowing the fans an opportunity to leave their creative mark on the legend and lore that is Primus. Thanks again, guys. Keep doing what you do. I love listening. Thank you so much, Pat. And I'll share the link to his video with you, Josh, so you can share it on the Patreon.
Wow.
For sure. And let's put that on the Facebook page, too.
Yeah. Pat, thank you so much for reaching out.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if you didn't win. I mean, making the top 5 is really impressive. And you can rest assured that they watched your video at least. So that's something.
Impressive. Maybe we'll be able to make a Primus video, Frankie, one day.
One day.
Lalo, you can play Les Claypool.
I can do my best.
Just pretend, exaggerate all your movements, be silly, and you'll get the part.
Oh, yeah. I can do that.
Excellent. Well, today we are talking about Jackalope. It checks in at 3 minutes and 46 seconds, track 9 from the Bernie Brains record as we careen towards the end of it. It is the final instrumental track on the record. Frankie, I have a feeling that you have live history and Jackalope facts.
Jackalope is, as you mentioned, Josh, an instrumental track from Bucket of Bernie Brains record. Jackalopes were popularized in the 1930s by the Herrick brothers, whom grafted deer antlers onto jackrabbit carcasses, subsequently selling them to retail outlets in Dakota. Folklorists see the jackalope as one of a group of fabled creatures common to American culture since colonial days. These appear in tall tales about hodaks, giant turtles, Bigfoot, and many other mysterious beasts in novels like Moby Dick. Did you know Jackalope was only performed live once on September 29th, 2004 at the Roxy in Boston, making it officially the rarest Bucket of Bernie Brains song.
One performance.
One lone performance of Jackalope.
So when you sent your live cuts for this record and only sent one Jackalope file, I thought you
thought I was slacking.
I thought you were lazy. I thought maybe you were tired and only could find one. No, there is only one.
Exactly.
Well, I am now relieved because I was afraid that your energy was flagging and that we were all in trouble, but that is not the case. Lalo, I would like to ask you, what attracts you to this track? What made you choose Jackalope of all the tracks?
Yeah, I love him because the reason is a joke. You know, my first son is my daughter, and her name is Jacqueline. Jacqueline. So I remember, Josh, when you asked me about this album, and you told me about, but I was in hard times in the time you asked me.
Yeah.
My father passed away, so I remember contacting you about this interview podcast, and I remember that you say me about 2 songs left. So Jackalope was perfect for me because remember my daughter. So I it's perfect for me.
If that's great.
That's the real reason.
I love it.
I love to. You know, the most one of the most enjoyable things in the life is like that.
Yeah.
Trivial things.
So the short version is, why did you choose this track? The answer is cheese days. That's it. Like the I was just making a joke. Do you call your daughter Jacqueline the Jackalope? Is that a nickname for her?
No, but
okay.
I think since today I can call her in that way.
Be careful. Make sure.
And you know, Josh and Frankie, I didn't know that Jackalope was a kind of mythical animal, and I didn't know. So when I Googled it, oh wow, it's
a rabbit with antlers.
It's a rabbit, with the concept of antelope.
Yeah.
So it's nice.
It's funny because it's jackalope, which is a combination of jackrabbit and antelope, but they use deer antlers, not antelope antlers, to make the jackalopes.
Yeah, I know, and maybe it's like a kind of creature of Alice in Wonderland. I don't know. It's very magical. Everything I read about that animal is amazing.
When I was young, I'd scavenge around every nook and cranny of my little town. No, when I was young, for many years,
we are in the same age.
I believed that jackalopes were real. I had seen an illustration. When I learned that they were not real, I was disappointed.
Devastated.
I love that they are. I love the idea of them as a mythical creature. I found them scary. When my family traveled to South Dakota when I was young, I thought we would see jackalopes, and I saw 0 jackalopes. And I think that's when I found out that they were mythical. I was also afraid we would be attacked by one, but I'm glad that did not happen.
I think Frankie too had a history from Jackalope.
Frankie, do you want to talk about your favorite cryptids now or later?
Oh, later, but
Okay.
I just want to say that when you said that jackalope seemed terrifying for you, that reminded me about the Fiji mermaid. Have you ever seen a photograph of this artifact?
I have, yes.
An object composed of the torso and the head of a juvenile monkey sewn to the back half of a fish.
Yep.
It is it is quite an intriguing object for sure.
It was a widespread novelty. And so when the
At
circus came through
sideshows,
town, yeah,
yeah.
everybody went to see the Fiji mermaid. But of course, you don't see it until after you pay. So, because Frankie will not reveal his favorite cryptids until after we talk about the music,
Yes.
I guess we have to earn it, Lalo. So, what, other than the name similarity, what do you like about this track? And you have that beautiful bass right there. And
Okay, for the Patreons, it's
Look at that.
beautiful.
yeah, and you know that bass has the same pickups that Les is using in the pachyderm bass is EMG.
AMG, yeah.
So it's kind of the same sound. It's
Fabulous.
a well used Fender Precision 77.
Beautiful bass.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, this band is amazing. I think it is 2004.
Correct.
Correct.
Okay. And I think it was the time that Mr. Les Claypool was everywhere in jam festivals and everything. So, like usually, he was very creative. So I think I don't know if that's true. If not, correct me, please. But I think someone invited from to Bonnaroo Festival, but I think Frog Brigade was not complete, was the full band, so he has to make another band, and this is the band that Claypool create for this occasion.
So, yes. So, Frog Brigade performed,
Yeah,
but Brain, Buckethead, and Bernie did not have Bill Laswell to perform. And so I believe David Lefkowitz floated the idea of
yeah,
them jamming and or of them playing, and Les said only if it's completely improvised. And
yeah,
so off they went. Yeah.
yeah. You know, my principal library is I have a collection of bass player issues from the first issue to the last one, and I I read the August 2004 is the cover is Claypool with the Guamola.
Oh,
It's nice because that I think that album was the revelation. The Guamola was the big thing in that album. Uh, so it's a special time for Les.
yeah.
And I was reading that because the arthritis of Bernie Warren, uh, they just can record maximum in 2 takes,
Right.
just one maximum to 2 takes. So, and how you say, like you say, is all improvisation. All is improvised.
Right.
So maybe I don't know. Maybe just pick up a key, and then everything is improvised
Right. Pick a key and go. That's
and
it.
go. The record. Put the record button.
So we have talked about how the spontaneous nature of the record was inspiring to them.
Yeah.
Is it inspiring to you too? How often do you find yourself just jamming when you're gigging?
I think every sound check I do is I am always trying to jam, and maybe something magical, special born one day. And I think the most great songs are born like this in a jamming situation, just spontaneously.
Probably, like many other songs on this record, they heard probably the main bass lick. Les must have played it at one of the improv shows, and then he thought, yes, we will use this. And that became the basis for this track, it seems.
Yeah, for sure. And this group, especially this group, I think, most of the people who likes Claypool, Primus, etc., think about Claypool like the chief of the band. And in this band in particular, there are 4 same equal parts. All the 4 guys playing, they are legends in his own instruments. Buckethead, Bernie, wow.
Yeah. They all have input. They all can carry a track. Of all 11 tracks on this record, I believe, to me, this is the most transferable or the most like a Claypool solo record track. And I'm not trying to be controversial or incendiary, but that's how it feels like this track would not be too far out of place on Purple Onion or Of Whales and Woe. But still, it certainly has the unique nature of the 4 participants on it.
Sure. So. Yeah, I think the same, because the bass part has a lot of triplets in the way that My Name is Mood. You know that sound?
Very bouncy.
The bouncing, the bouncing slap is driving all the most part of the song is the bouncing slap. Yeah, for sure. So has that character of the song.
And do you mind modeling that first riff, because it's very Claypool, because it's stop start, it's bouncy, it has all those qualities of a Les Claypool bass line.
Yeah, for sure. In the original record, Claypool used his infamous rainbow fretless bass, 6-string, but it's in the range of 4 strings, so it can be played in a 4-string bass.
Yeah.
So I have analyzing. I think the key of this song is G7, because the notes that Claypool use, and start in the open E, the 4th string, and then hammer the G, the 3rd fret. And that put the mood for the song. Okay. Next notes are he using a lot hammer-ons, and how you say is Primus-esque.
Primus-esque, yes.
Yeah, Primus-esque, because he used the chords like a guitar. Yeah. So I'm gonna do it slowly and then fast enough. And the special ingredient, the magic ingredient, is the use of envelope filter, like a wah for the players, and so that's the special sound that.
I can't believe I'm going to say this. I like that with the envelope filter.
Yeah.
As much as when it's clean.
Ah,
That is cool.
The same.
Yeah.
You like the same? Okay.
Yeah. Usually not an envelope filter guy, but that sounds really great with that envelope filter.
Yeah, for this program, I had a delay because our times don't get. So I remember telling Frankie that my pedal board was coming from my hometown to Jalisco. So it's well for me because the original record was recorded with envelope filter. In this case, I am using a Qtron Plus from Electroharmonics. So it's a nice boutique retro pedals. So the sound is very organic, like a bubble.
That is outstanding. That does sound cool.
Yeah. And I think it's the main part of the song. And how, like I say before, is in G7, the tonality. And is in this phrase this bass part is in two bars. So when I was reading about jackalopes, all fit, because if you close your eyes, you can imagine a rabbit jumping.
Yes, hopping around.
And then stop just to look out the zone. That's
That is perfect.
yeah. I was thinking when I was doing my best to replicate the Claypool, but when I was reading, oh, it's a jackrabbit and an antelope. Okay, that it's not a coincidence.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine perfectly a jackrabbit jumping and then stop. So the first bar is the ascending one, and then ascending the second bar, and the stop. In this stop, in the fourth measure of the second bar of the main riff, Bernie Worrell answered the bass. Yeah, so
Right.
that's I love of professional players when you don't have ego anymore. You just play and enjoy the music and feel the music and communicate. Is the only purpose. So there is no a competition that who is the best.
Yeah.
And I can see and hear the balance and the perfect combination between the four. The four guys are playing I'm feeling, oh wow, like a perfect machine. The organ answer the bass, the guitar of Buckethead. Oh my god, and the tribal-esque drums of Brain. Oh, it's a nice song.
You said something important there, which is the balance. And when we spoke with Les and Brain, they said similar things about how, and you pointed to this earlier, there was no one person in charge. It was casual, and they just listened to each other and played off of one another. It sounds like that's the height, that's the top of the mountain when you are jamming with other people, that communication.
Yeah, it's great. A special moment when it's like this conversation. You have to hear the other person and answer the question, or maybe just interact. And it's the balance between it's a conversation.
Yeah. So let's call that part A.
It's part A.
And let's talk about part B, because part A, very stop-start, Primus-esque, very Les Claypool. And the way that as you played it on your 4-string, we talked about how he builds his licks, he plays in the box a lot. And so he's very in the box. But with part B, he goes in a completely different direction.
Yeah, you're right, because the second part, the B part, is like a free jazz.
Yes.
It's very jazzy. And if I remember well, the beginnings of Claypool was in a upright bass. So I think Claypool don't think about keys or about, no, because it's improvisation. So they just choose the G for and then go ahead. The second part is a descending chromatic.
Okay.
Chromatic is when you, in this case, we start in G, and then G flat, F flat, and then again.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like free jazz, like the greatest, like Arnold Coleman and that kind of guys. It's like the time to the song breathes, and then Bernie attacks. Wow, amazing! And it's time to Buckethead to play something more, and that's create the perfect balance in the song.
Yeah,
because you can the aggressive part A, and then relax and just feel free jazz section.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. It is the bring it down, play a cool jazz lick, let Bernie and Bucket fill in the space.
Yeah, and that's I think it's very mature for the song, because when a song is hyper always, but I think it's like in this conversation we had, if one of us was yelling all the time, was not cool. So maybe we have to make a pause, breathe, relax, and think about. So I think that's the part. That is the situation. Like, sit down, relax, and enjoy the moment.
I'm laughing because usually that's me. I'm the one talking too much, so I learned to relax.
We're all the same. When a subject hesitate or excite you, is wow, yeah. Normal.
So they're all showing restraint. What I like about part B is Les, once again, gives himself space to improvise while he's doing, after he walks down the neck with that chromatic lick.
Like a jazz opera bass player.
Yeah.
And he's descending from G to D.
Yeah.
And he's using a jazz chord, because they are using the suspended 4. So it's G is they are using the suspended 4. It's a classic in jazz.
Neat sound. And then he has plenty of space also to put little fills in, little licks. So everyone has space to play around. It's a very fun and a very different sound, very different flavor that you don't get anywhere else on the record.
No.
I want to play, if you guys will indulge me, I want to play my favorite, because this track, it's part A, B, A, B, A, B, And then
Yeah.
there's this little C outro.
Yeah. I didn't notice the C, but show me.
I'll play that in a bit.
Okay.
I do want to play my favorite part A and B, and it's, of course, I labeled it the fun version because that's when they loosen up, start getting louder. I really love what Buckethead does over this iteration of the part B. It makes me laugh so much because it's just Buckethead playing something chromatic, but he's playing it so loudly and so obnoxiously.
Yeah, it's going in crescendo, and wow. Yeah, I think it's the ecstasies of the song. That part.
Absolutely. So they give us part A and part B, I think 3 times each. This is my favorite part C. It's very short here at the end. It might be hard to approximate on your bass, Lalo, because Les is sliding all over on the rainbow. But I love this little outro that they only give us 20 seconds of. And it's fading, so you have to turn up the volume to hear it. And that's all you get of that.
You can hear the fretless bass with a little touch of overdrive. I think he was using Sansamp preamp, so I think that little overdrive is from the Sansamp preamp.
Okay, I like that sound a lot that he achieves there, and because you have me now imagining jackalopes with the bass sound, that distortion makes me, the distortion makes me think of the jackalope using its antlers to scratch a tree or dig in the ground or something. It just sounds like a hog.
He's using his horns to something. Maybe attacking another beast, or maybe, I don't know, maybe found something in the ground.
Exactly, digging up a root.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and that's it. This is probably the track with the simplest structure on the entire record. A B A B A B, little C, and it's over.
Yeah, I think for the regular listener, for a person who never has heard a jam band, is the perfect track to initiate in that kind of jams band.
Yeah, this one is, and it's the third of 3 instrumentals. Each of the 3 instrumentals are wildly different, vastly different.
Yeah, for sure.
In approach and tone and attitude and tempo and everything else. Very cool. And the other thing that I like about it is it's short. It does not overstay its welcome. And
it's not like the memes that another Tool song and the year ends. Sorry, oops, sorry.
It's elephant because Elephant Ghost is 10 minutes, but it should be. It feels like it just has that feel to it that it can be 10 minutes. This one, 10 minutes, I don't know. It just seems like a good short one. Good to be a short.
Yeah, it's a easy listen song. It's easy listen.
Yeah. They do what they want to do and then they fade out. And that's okay.
That's okay. That's like kind of, I don't know if they think like for radio situation or something, because it's a short one, even for a Primus song or wherever. It's a short song, but it's very enjoyable.
I agree. It's very, as we said, it's bouncy, it's happy.
Bouncy. Has the power and then relax. I love that.
Yeah, I like that a lot too. Frankie, what are you feeling on this one? You haven't. You're probably just thinking about jackalopes, right?
I was listening to Lalo playing his bass. I think it's got a great position on the record. It comes quite late, and it serves as something that lightens up the mood, I guess. The big eyeball in the sky is very compelling. Ignorance is Bliss is quite a serious song. So this one it's just a slice of whimsy near the end of the record. It's harmless, it's fun, and it's just another great example of the cohesion and the chemistry that the band had. So what else can I say? It's a fun little instrumental track.
You raise a great point that of the last 4 tracks on the record, 3 of them are fairly serious, lyrically and musically. You're right. I like the word whimsy for this one. It is whimsical.
And I think when I hear Frankie's, it's maybe like a funny dessert, you know? It's like we say in Mexico, a postre, a nice postre.
Yes.
I like that. That beautiful music could only mean one thing. It is time for Primates Takes. Primates Takes is over at patreon.com/Primus Tracks. If you'd like to support Josh and Frankie, that's one way to do it. And the universal constant over there is I post a thread about the track up for discussion, and you post your thoughts. I'll read them right here. For example, regarding Jackalope, Edwin Allen Richards IV, our landed gentry, Frankie says, wonky is the word that comes to mind here. A fun jam for sure. Super bouncy and super strange. It feels like it would make a good video game music. Oh, interesting. Lalo, you wouldn't play that game, I know. But a great track to use to introduce your friends to this music if you want to quickly weed out the less than adventurous listeners. Ah, okay. So it's a litmus test for Edwin. Anthony Del Preet, go Bills, says, I feel like this was probably named in the same fashion that instrumentals are. I bet Les listened to the music they created here and named it based on what image was conjured up in his head. The Jackalope is making me think of Fungi and Foe album cover with the various half animal and half human images.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. Anthony finishes with, this song acted like a segue type of song on the album to me when I first heard it. I'm realizing how much I love that the 6-string fretless is all over this album. Zach M., a new patron. Welcome to the club, Zach M. He says, this has kind of a goofy, bouncy feel that could easily have been an actual theme for a hypothetical Jackalope-focused TV show. Or for the actual segments from America's Funniest People way back in the 90s. I haven't seen video, but I can easily imagine Les jumping around in a circle while playing this. While wearing antlers, of course. Zach, I guess if there isn't video of the one show where they played this the one time, we don't know if Les was bouncing around in circles.
No video available so far.
Oh, it's a mystery. And we'll close with Eric in Australia, who says, an ingenious, interactive jam that I'm sure many musicians would envy, and these guys just bang it out. Fretless tone heaven.
Yeah.
Lalo agrees. There you go, Eric in Australia. Live cuts.
A jam vehicle.
Live cuts. The jam vehicle. Live cuts.
A jam vehicle.
Live cuts. A true jam vehicle. Live cuts.
A jam vehicle.
Live cuts. the jam vehicle live cuts.
What's going on here?
Shards of bone in my anus.
All right, this is our one and only live cut of Jackalope. If they only play it once, but it's 11 minutes, does it qualify as a jam vehicle?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Boston, it's the Roxy.
Well, we're going to hear a couple of portions of good old Jackalope. Rain. I'm sure you heard the call down, the classic Claypool call down.
Yes.
What did you hear in that, Lalo?
Just because you are telling me that this song, because for me it's another beast. It's in another up tempo. The bass, the main bass line is so different. Just even he's not using the envelope filter, so sounds very different. And then he using a lot the the tone of his bass is more overdriven, so he's using a lot of long notes that no appears in the original version. So it's another beast. This and it's a shame that only is performed once. Wow.
They already are taking it in a really fun direction with this. And that was high energy, a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Let's hear a portion of about halfway through the one and only live performance of Jackalope. Oh man, they're just playing around with each other there, and
hearing that this part of the song, I was thinking about the maybe Buckethead is the twin of Les Caper, and they were separated and the Beard, because you can hear Claypool-esque things in the guitar at the beginning, and then he went crazy. Oh my God! And sometimes at the beginning he sounds like a kind of Star Wars R2D2 talking
yes,
very fast, and then went crazy. Wow!
Yeah,
amazing.
Very cool part. Just hearing Bucket respond to Les is great when they are interacting like that. It seemed like Les was just happy to let Bucket go for a while, and they're keeping that, up tempo.
Just keep the tempo and the groove. Yeah. And it's hard to hear Les doing that, because he is always over the top, but in this time it's just maintaining the groove and the ground.
Thank you, Lalo, for your insights on that. And that's the one and only live rendition of Jackalope. And Frankie picked parts that sound nothing like Jackalope. I think we've earned it at this point. Frankie, who are your favorite cryptids? Tell us about mythical beasts, jackalope facts. What is rattling around in your skull right now?
There is some controversy online, lots of debate about whether some very iconic aliens could be considered cryptids, but the general consensus is that they are not cryptids. If they were, then my list would include things like the Flatwoods Monster or the Hopkinsville Goblin. But since aliens are out of the question and we're sticking to these animals which were supposed to have roamed the earth at one point, then my favorites include, of course, Bigfoot, but not in its classical iteration. I'm more of a fan of the Patterson-Gimlin specimen, which is actually a female. So I'm sure you're well aware of the 1967 film, the 1 minute Patterson-Gimlin film, in which this creature is documented. The Fresno Night Walker is also fascinating. And Mothman is also quite interesting. Yes. But my all-time favorite cryptid, of course, is the Manticore, which was purported to be a beast that had the body of a lion, the face of a man with 3 rows of teeth, a tail that ended in a ball of poisonous spikes, and a voice that sounded like a trumpet. That's the Manticore.
I had forgotten about the Manticore. I haven't thought about one for a decade. Wow, the Manticore.
Two thoughts come to my mind because I don't know if in some point, Primus or whatever group, Play Police, wherever they play is a poster of the gig. So I don't know if there exists a poster with a jackalope. I don't know.
The closest thing that comes to my mind is a promo image of Les Claypool's hat with the antler horns stuck to it.
Okay.
Oh, that was for the tour with Mastodon, correct?
Exactly. Yeah.
I remember that.
I guess that's kind of a reference, right, to a jackalope?
And the next thought I had was I would love to a Claypool album with mythical creatures. Every song was inspired by a mythical creature. I think will be amazing. Amazing album.
That reminds me, our old friend Joe Gore did just that. He has an album where every track is about or inspired by mythical beings or cryptids, I believe.
Wow.
I have to hear that album.
I'll send you a link. But I think you're onto something. I think mythical creatures or jackalopes in particular just seem to be a good Primus mascot. So I'll say this. I get to give you the horns now, Jackalope, because you've been tracked. Next time, Frankie, time's ticking away.
Like a tick.
Lalo Fierro, thank you so much for joining us again, taking the time. Happy to see you again, buddy.
It's a pleasure, Josh. It's a pleasure, Frankie.
Thank you, Lalo.
The good people can find you at Lalo Fierro on Instagram, and I suggest that they follow you because you post some great videos of your gigs and jamming around. I like seeing your post, pal.
Yeah, I think I have a couple because of the other participation I had with you. I had more of 10 contacts because of Primus tracks. So it's nice when you don't know in person the people, but it's connect because the Instagram and all the social media is amazing for me.
Excellent. Well, if you're not already following Lalo, do it now. That is my exhortation. That is my advice.
Thank you.
But be warned, Lalo's page is not safe for work. It's base porn.
There it is. Yeah, I knew it was on its way. Oh, man. Primatrons, people of Earth, jackalopes, hodags, wyverns, griffins,
Fiji
whatever.
mermaids.
Fiji mermaids worldwide. Thank you all for listening. Thanks again, Lalo.
Oh, thank you.
Later days.
Willie Mays.
Whatever the adventure, there's a BMW engineered to take it on. The X3 delivers a striking design with agile performance. The 100% electric i4 packed with pure electric energy. Or the plug-in hybrid X5, an impressive, versatile SUV granting full control on every journey. Choose what powers your next adventure during the BMW Road Home Sales Event. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Hurry in for exceptional offers through January 2nd. Visit bmwusa.com for details.
The most wonderful time of the year. Although, let's be honest, around the holidays, things really add up. But here's the good news. Only at Verizon, you can get a single line for $50 per month when you switch and bring your phone. So, while ice skating for two is definitely costing more, here at Verizon, you can save. Gifts for your third cousins? Steep. A single line with Verizon? Not so steep. A real tree? Pricey. A single line with Verizon? Less pricey. Flights to see Mima and Pops? Those are up. A $50 per month single line? That's down. Even a trip to the Atlanta Holiday Market will cost you more. But with Verizon, you can switch and bring your phone for just $50 per month for a single line on unlimited welcome, with autopay plus taxes and fees. All this to say, during the holiday season, when everything is costing more, you can get more for less right now at a local Verizon store. $15 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G, 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.